Hi, and good evening, everyone. Welcome to this special masterclass tonight to find your warrior within. Please do write in the chat, say hi, say where you're coming from. Just going to view some of the messages coming in now. I know we have different people registered from different countries. So always really great to see where people are joining from. I'm just going to try and move over my gallery view on the Zoom here, which is not letting me do. So, and let me say we've got a presentation arranged for this evening, and I know that tonight we have people joining that have already been on Warrior Within. We have new people that know absolutely nothing about it, so I will do my very, very best to find that middle ground between sharing information for returning warriors that have been before and new time warriors just joining. If you don't know me, if you're a first time person joining, then I'm your host for this evening, Brian Main. I'm the creator of goal mapping, but also 3 other mapping systems, life mapping, self mapping, action mapping, and all of those are in the Warrior Within program, which is the deeper end of my teaching and content. It's something that I've been sharing with people for many years. I'm going to bring on the presentation in just a few moments. If you are a returning warrior, please do write in the chat that you've been on Warrior Within before. Maybe you're a certified coach in goal mapping. And if that's the case, please write that also. But if you're brand new, if you've never been on Warrior Within before, or you don't know what goal mapping is, then please say that also. And of course, we'd like to know where you're joining from and how you're feeling this evening. And for those people that have been on Warrior Within before, it would be really, really cool for the new people who don't know it, for you to say, what has been your deepest insight by attending Warrior Within before? What has been your biggest learning, your biggest breakthrough by attending Warrior Within? I'm so inspired when I read some of the messages that people send me after Warrior Within saying, Warrior Within helped me to do this, or Warrior Within helped me to do that, or Warrior Within helped me to have this massive breakthrough in my life, and now I am. So what has been your big breakthrough if you've been on Warrior Within before? Or what is the big breakthrough that you are looking for if you're new and have never attended Warrior Within? Tonight in this masterclass, we're going to give an overview of the program, cover some of the important content so that it's meaningful for everyone joining. If you don't already have it, please go get a pad of paper and a pen so that you can make notes as we go through, take down important detail, record insights that are important to you. I'm going to bring on the PowerPoint presentation, make sure that my partner in life, wife, and business, Vicky, has brought on the spotlight, and just go through some of the key information in the presentation for everybody to follow through with. I've been a speaker, founder, coach of other coaching academies and training schools, and a trainer myself for more than 30 years now. And I've presented in more than 30 countries around the world, and their different mapping systems, success systems that I've created have reached a lot of people, more than 5 million people. 1 million of those are students. There have been many magazine articles. I've written many books. They've been published in many different languages. And the deepest offering I have is a Warrior Within. Life is many things to many people, but one thing we can say it is for sure for all of us is that life is a path. It's a twisting, turning path. None of us can be absolutely sure what will happen in the future. Life is full of uncertainties. Unexpected events will appear, sometimes suddenly, randomly on our path in life. If we find our warrior within, it gives us great power to walk our path in life well. And regardless of the challenges or unforeseen situations that may appear on our path, we're able to greet them in a good way and find a way to move beyond them, to continue on our path and to be our best. And my path's been quite unusual. I was born into a travelling funfair family. This picture on the screen of my father's funfair, and in fact my father is at the bottom of the picture. This was taken the year I was born, 1961. So 62 this year. And for many years of my life was 3 different homes each year. One home travelling around on the fun fairs, one home in our winter base where we would cover the winter months, the cold weather months when the fun fair wasn't open. And then also one home on the Isle of Wight where my family eventually settled. And my father encouraged me to be an entrepreneur and to move the family business forward. I didn't go to school very much. I dropped out of education just before 13. And at 18, I became the youngest person ever in England to be given a license to open up a nightclub. You can see it here on the screen. I run that for 13 years. The crest of the new romantics wave. 1981 was when I opened the club. Adamant, face paint and frilly shirt. So this is me at 19 with my face paint and frilly shirt. And I run the nightclub I had together with my brother. And it was incredibly successful. We had people coming from all over the UK and indeed other countries, and made a lot of money, had a lot of fun, did that for 13 years, felt on top of the world, and then not. Because in the late 1980s, early 90s, tourism on the Isle of Wight, where I still live today, crashed. Because English people in the late 1980s, early 1990s, started taking their main summer holiday in the Mediterranean and not in England. And so as tourism died, so did many of the local Isle of Wight businesses. And my family's business is one of those that went out of business. And at age 29, I found myself in a really difficult situation. I was £1 million in debt. My home had been repossessed. My marriage broke down under the pressure. I had no qualifications because I left school just before 13 and went to work with my father full time. And while that may sound really strange to many people viewing, in the community I grew up in, the travelling funfair community, it was normal at that time. And my brother, my sister, my cousins, my friends, everyone I knew left school around about 13. Because in that life, qualifications, higher education really wasn't valued at that time. And so I never learned to read and write properly. I left school without any qualifications, went to work with my father, and when the family business crashed, found myself in this terrible situation where I had no practical work experience. I'd either work for myself or my father. And because I have dyslexia and never attended school regularly, I only went to school for about 5 months each year, divided between different schools, depending where we were in the country, never learned to read and write. At age 29, £1 million in debt with no qualifications, no work experience, feeling really, really broken, I was scared. I was scared and I didn't have a clue what I could do to turn around the situation and to aim for a brighter future. And the turning point for me was that I met an amazing life coach. I met this great guy. I took a job, the only job I could find at the time, working in direct sales on commission only. By taking this job in sales, I met this amazing guy, Mike Rosewater, who became my coach and helped me to understand the simple science of positive thinking and how to apply that into my life. Not only into my sales career that I'd started to increase my sales and revenue, but how to apply it to my learning difficulties, overcome my dyslexia, teach myself to read well, how to apply it to my self-esteem, to feel better in myself. And all of the things that I learned from him, all of the different techniques, helped me to transform my life. Within a year, I'd learned to read and write. I'd taken my performance at work from the lowest in the team to the highest. I started to pay off all of my debt and get myself into a new, bright, wonderful future. Since that time, I've had many amazing coaches. There have been so many great people that I've met synchronistically that have helped me on my path. One of the greatest of all is my spiritual godmother, Bruna Ferrari, who taught to me the deeper principles of self-manifestation, self-actualization, how you take a thought and turn it into reality. And if you study the ancient teaching, you will discover that by thought and word and deed, we make and shape our world. And this is really the essence of Warrior Within. All of the things I've learned from all of my coaches and trainers and mentors over more than 30 years now are included in the Warrior Within program. And they are like tumblers in a combination lock. Only when you get all of the tumblers in alignment does the lock open, and you're able to access your power to turn your thoughts into reality. Self-manifestation, to turn your thoughts, your desires into reality by following the principles that are contained within Warrior Within. It is esoteric in its nature. And not everyone is familiar with the word esoteric, so let me explain. The word esoteric means taught to only a few. If you observe any of the ancient teachings around the world, any of the major religions, all of the ancient teachings and major religions have an inner teaching that is reserved for a few. It is esoteric in its nature. It's not the mass teaching, it's the special teaching. Warrior Within is that special teaching. It teaches the ancient secrets of success. And if you have a pad of paper and a pen and you'd like to follow through this evening, then that's absolutely fantastic. And if you do not, and you just want to listen along, then that's also good. Because some teachings, as my teacher taught me many years ago, are like a bird in the sky. Their presence is undeniable, but like a bird in the sky, the teaching leaves no tracks that can be followed. It's there, you can observe it, but it's not like you can go back and follow it afterwards. And so if you want to just let this teaching this evening, this overview of Warrior Within, wash over you, then that's good. And if you want to take notes and study, that's good also. The greatest truths of life are like a hidden secret. They're open, it's there in plain sight, but only a few really discover it. My spiritual godmother, my great guiding coach, Bruna Ferrari from Italy, who took me under her wing way back in 1996, has guided my path over so many years. And she introduced me to the deeper esoteric teachings of great spiritual leaders from around the world, one of them being Rumi. Rumi was a 12th century Sufi mystic. Sufism is the inner teaching of Islam, like Gnosticism is the inner teaching of Christianity, or Kabbalah is the inner teaching of Hinduism. All of the world's great faiths have an inner teaching that is esoteric. One of my very early teachings from Bruna was this: a while, as want may be, self I did claim. True self I did not see, but heard its name. I, being self-confined, self did not merit, till leaving self behind, did self inherit. What do you think Rumi is saying here more than 1,000 years ago? What do you think is the teaching here of Rumi? When you look at these words, seems like a riddle. And my godmother left me with this. She sent me away with it when I first visited her in Italy and said, go work it out, Brian. Don't come back to me until you understand it. I thought about this for weeks and weeks and weeks. If you have already seen the answer, some people see it immediately. They have a deep, maybe past life wisdom. Other people, it takes them quite some time. If you know what's being said here in the riddle, write it in the chat. And if you're not sure, please ponder it. I'll come back to it later in the presentation. The ancient teaching on law of attraction, and I had just had somebody messaging me about the law of attraction and how they'd read the book and seen the CD about The Secret. I've also read those books. In fact, I know some of the people that helped to write the book, The Secret, and contributed to the video. And it is sometimes misleading for some people, and the information we receive about the law of attraction is often incomplete. It is not just through thought and thinking about what we want that we invoke the law of attraction. It starts with thought. It's amplified again by feeling, and it's further empowered by our actions. It's all three together that create the dominant vibration that in turn invokes the law of attraction and leads to self-manifestation. Thought, feeling, and action. When we bring those three together, it means we are in harmony with what we desire and are able to attract it, create it, manifest it within our life. By thought, feeling, and action, we make and shape our world. Each of us are on a path, a life path, and we walk our path best when we know where we are going and that we take each step being inspired with hope in our heart and power in our actions. What helps us to step forward in life and move towards our life purpose is finding our inner warrior, finding our warrior within. Whether you are young or old, regardless of what career path you may be on. I saw an amazing, Vicky pointed it out to me earlier today, an amazing Instagram post by a young guy who I think he's about 13 years old. And he was on one of my workshops yesterday in Cambridge. And he's posted today on Instagram saying many people in life are a worrier and instead choose to be a warrior. And it's a really deep insight that this brilliant young guy has, because being a warrior is a choice. It's easy, almost automatic, to be a worrier about life and the future. There are so many things that each of us can worry about. We can worry about the climate change. We can worry about the wars going on around the world. We can worry about the cost of living crisis and our own individual future. But when we are a worrier, we really don't help anything. We don't help the world to be a better place, and we don't help our own life or ourselves to be better in any way. Finding your inner warrior spirit helps you to hold inspiration in your mind, hope in your heart, which gives power to your actions, which in turn helps you to overcome those challenges that we face as we move along our path in life. Being a warrior means working with both sides of our brain. Our right brain, which helps us to have a good vision and hope for the future, creativity, and also our left brain, which helps us to form a strategy and a plan of how we can take our ideas and our visions and turn them into reality. And it's brain balance, being able to work with both our left brain and our right brain, that really helps us to be at our best. The 4 mapping systems that I've created since 1995 are all taught within the Warrior Within program. Over the 7 weeks of Warrior Within, everyone is guided to create a goal map, life map, action map, and self map. Each of the mapping systems uses a unique combination of words and pictures to help activate both sides of the brain, so that by using the map, you are clear in your conscious mind about what you want to achieve, and that you program your subconscious mind and higher conscious mind to move you towards your goal, and through law of attraction, to move your goal towards you. We are all different. Here on the program tonight, there are people joining from different countries, different walks of life, different desires, different situations that each of us face at this time in our life. It's different for everyone. What is the same for everyone is that each of us are a combination of mental, emotional, and physical. Thought, feeling, action. It's these 3 aspects of ourself that make and shape our world. This is the ancient Hermetic teaching. It has been around for thousands of years, but unfortunately is often misunderstood and overlooked by most modern training programs. By choosing your thoughts, by managing your feelings, by influencing your actions, you form great power in yourself. And these 3 aspects of self, thought, feeling, and action, are in a cybernetic loop. One is influencing the other. This is how you stay in a habit pattern. thinking the same way as a habit, feeling the same way as a habit, behaving the same way as a habit. When you think a positive thought, it triggers the chemical of serotonin that gives you the feeling of happiness. That influences your physiology, body posture. Feel happy, shoulders back, head up, confident body posture. Think a negative thought, it releases a different chemical, cortisol. Start to feel sad, and it reflects in your body posture. Shoulders become hunched, head down, back slouched. All these things are connected: thought, feeling, and action. And they work both ways. So when you get yourself into a depressive state, your body posture sends a signal to your brain to release the chemicals that make you also feel depressed and think negatively. And we have to learn how to snap ourselves out of these habitual habit patterns, because it's the combination of thought and feeling and action that shape our habits, and our habits in turn shape our beliefs, our attitudes, and our behavior, all of which influences who we are as a person. Who you are as a person, who I am as a person, is a collection of beliefs and attitude and behavior. That's what is distinguishable about all of us. We may look different, we may seem different, but the thing that really makes us different is our beliefs about ourselves and the world, the attitudes with which we live, and the behavior that we engage in every day. Warrior Within is about helping you to break through to find your true self. Because through yourself, through your beliefs and your attitudes and your behavior, you shape your life around you. We can't control the life we're born into. We have very little control about the influences when we're young and we're growing. The things that are said to us by parents or society, teachers, friends. But as an adult, as a mature person, we have the ability to choose our own thoughts. And by choosing our thoughts about what is best for us, what is right, we're able to take ourselves to higher levels of true success. So here again is the quote by Rumi: "A while as what may be, self I did claim, true self I did not see, but heard its name. I, being self-confined, self did not merit, till leaving self behind, did self inherit." What do you think he's saying? If you think you know what it is, write it in the chat, because in just a moment I'm going to show it and explain it. And here it is. If you look at what is written here, you'll notice that sometimes self is written with a small s, lowercase s, and sometimes it's written with a big S, capital S. In the ancient world, true self, high self, the spiritual you, was always indicated by writing capital S. Whereas low self, ego, was indicated by writing the small s, lowercase s. So Rumi is saying, a while as one may be, self, I'm talking to myself, talking to my own ego, self I did claim. True self, that big me, I didn't see it, but heard its name. I knew it was there, but I never saw it in myself. I, being self-confined, so confined within my ego, my own sense of self. Self did not merit. I didn't merit that high self, that spiritual me, till leaving self behind, till leaving my ego behind, and becoming a searcher for spiritual truth, did self inherit. And the great ancient teaching that it seems to have been forgotten by so many modern teachers is that we have two selves. We have a high self from spirit, and we have a low self from our animal ancestry and instinct. Our high self, connected to our soul and our spirit, is the seat of our soul. It's connected through our right brain, our higher humanitarian qualities. It's inspired in a wisdom, and it's purpose-centered. Our low self, in balance with our high self, is connected through our left brain. It's the home of our ego. It's fear-based, survival instinct, and self-centered. Ego is a fantastic, powerful servant when it follows the high self. But when we become unbalanced and our low self ego tries to lead, invariably it causes problems. Because when our ego tries to lead is when we become self-centered and excessive and always chasing and wanting more, even if it's at the detriment of other people. The great goal of life, and you'll find this in all of the ancient teachings around the world, the great goal of life, and it's the purpose of Warrior Within, and the 7-week program is to bring your high self and your low self together to form your true self, the star that you truly are, to bring out the best in you. It is as natural for you to shine bright and be the star that you truly are as it is for the sun to rise each and every day. So why then do we not all of us shine bright all of the time? Well, not only do we have a natural inner light that shines bright and can lift our heart, but we also form an inner shadow that clouds our heart and blocks the light. And that inner shadow is created by all of the difficult, negative experiences that we encounter, particularly when we are young, as we make our journey in life. We are born bright. We are born our natural true self. It is said that a man wise in years will not hesitate to look into the eyes of a newborn baby, and he will marvel. What does a man wise in years marvel at in the eyes of a newborn? He marvels at the pure, pristine consciousness that can be observed in the eyes of babies. It's the window to the soul. But gradually, quickly, as the person starts to form beliefs and opinions and a self-image, it becomes like a mask that blocks that window to the soul. And instead of seeing that pure, pristine consciousness, what is seen is the ego. The great spiritual journey is to pull away the mask, to allow our light to shine bright. Life is always going to be a journey of highs and lows for everyone. And when we're on a high, it is just automatic and natural that we rise up and we shine. And of course, equally, we fall down into shadow. The teaching within Warrior Within is how to consciously, deliberately find your shine. Most people, of course, just become a mixture of the two. They become overcast and gloomy. Learn the ancient techniques about choosing your thoughts, focusing on the best of you, awakening your warrior within, and you learn to live your life above the line. The line of life is always high and low, up and down. Many people are living their life like a puppet on a string. When life is on a high and going the way they believe it should be, they're on a high. They're happy. And then when life is going down and things are not the way they want them to be, they're on a low and they're falling into shadow. Many people live their whole life with life pulling their strings, depending on the economic situation or what other people are doing. The teaching in Warrior Within is to find the way to live your life above the line. That regardless of what is happening in your daily existence, that you choose to focus on what is best, that you lead your life from your high self. This is high self thinking, being an acceptance, being your own hero, choosing your response and thoughts, living with hope in your heart, responding. Here is low self thinking. When you fall into shadow, you become judgmental. When we're in shadow, we feel like the victim rather than the hero. When we're in shadow, we feel stuck, we feel hopeless, we are reactive, we are fear-based. It is all of the opposite from living our life above the line. Choose to live your life above the line, you're living with the positive qualities that produce success. Live your life above the line, and you're living all of the opposite, and you're creating all of the opposite. For many years, I've been teaching that people are in many ways like a radio. When you listen to a radio, maybe you have had the experience of driving your car while listening to the radio, and as you move along your journey, you're losing the strength of the connection to the radio station. And instead of hearing the music playing nice and clear, you're hearing distortion. How much of an adjustment does it need on the tuning dial of the radio to bring a clear reception? Is it a big adjustment or is it a small adjustment? It's a small adjustment. In the same way, people are like a radio. And as they move along their journey in life, sometimes because of unfortunate situations, people are losing their connection with the main station. And instead of tuning into the sweet music of life, they are hearing distortion. They're hearing interference. And just like a physical radio, in the human radio, it needs only the smallest adjustment to bring through the clearest reception. The tuning dial of our human radio is our beliefs. By making small adjustments to our beliefs, we bring our life into focus. You are your beliefs. The reason you're here tonight is because of your beliefs. The reason that you are doing the things that you do in your life is because of your beliefs. Your life situation is because of your beliefs. Who you are attracted to, who you married or didn't marry, will be because of your beliefs. The education you have or don't have will be because of your beliefs. Your financial success or lack of financial success will be because of your beliefs. Each of us are where we are because of our beliefs. And when we are young, we are often picking up beliefs without conscious choice, but we pick up beliefs from people around us. Family, friends, teachers, community, society. And when we have beliefs, they're like a little whispering voice in the background. They influence our thoughts, and in turn, our thoughts release the chemicals that give us feelings, and those influence our actions, habits, results, and we respond. This cycle is known as a self-actualization cycle, and many people are unaware that they have a self-actualization cycle. Many people are unaware that they are living their life because of beliefs that they've accumulated over many years, and many of them will be unconscious beliefs. They will be negative beliefs that are holding them back from being their self they want to be. The energetic self, the self with loads of energy, the wealthy self, the career self, the loving self. Our beliefs can both support us and lift us up, or they can hold us back in a small place. The key is firstly being aware of your beliefs. If you're really aware of your own beliefs right now, write it in the chat. Write, yes, I know my beliefs. But if you're unaware of your beliefs, if you are meeting barriers in life and you don't know why am I not breaking through? Why am I not achieving the things I want to achieve? Whether that's in my health, in my wealth, in my relationships, in my sense of living my purpose in life. If you're finding there's barriers, those barriers most often will be because of unconscious beliefs. In the Warrior Within program, the main goal is to help everybody raise their awareness of their beliefs and then to use the techniques in Warrior Within to change those beliefs. So often we hear things as a child and we accept those things as being true when they were never really true, or even our conscious choice. They were just the things we heard all of the time. So often when I'm working with people, coaching them to raise their self-esteem and to have more belief in themselves, the original block has become from a comment they heard as a child that they were stupid or they were not good enough. Children that hear too often, you're so stupid, you're not good enough. Why can't you do these things? The other children manage to do it. Why aren't you as good as your brother, your sister? This exam you need to pass. Children that form the belief that they're not good enough, it creates a low self-esteem. The regular comment to the child becomes the command. And when you hear often that you're not good enough, it causes you to feel that you're not as good as others. I'm not as good as these other people I'm being compared to. I'm not as good as this exam I need to pass. Once we form those negative core beliefs, they influence all of our future thoughts, feelings, actions, habits. It becomes a self-perpetuating cycle. We can just call it self. And as mentioned earlier, we have a high self and a low self. Our high self represents the best of us when we are shining. Our low self represents the worst of us. And when we're down in the shadow and not able to be the person we want to be for ourselves or for others. Some people become introverted when they are low in their self-esteem. Other people extroverted. Many people swing like a pendulum from being introverted or extroverted, but the feeling in all people when their self-esteem is below the lifeline, when you are below the lifeline, when your self-esteem is low, whether introverted or extroverted, the feeling is, I'm not good enough. I'm not okay. I'm not at peace with myself. The more we raise our self-esteem, the more we bring the introvert and the extrovert together, that we just become our true self. High self people feel worthwhile. Low self people feel worth less. High self people feel secure. They feel confident in themselves, in what they believe, in their opinion, in what they're doing. Low self people, it's the opposite. They feel insecure. High self-esteem people, free. Free in themselves, free to change their mind, change their behavior, change their patterns. Low self-esteem people, chained. Low self-esteem people feel worth less. They become chained to habits, become easily addicted to patterns of behavior, whether that's eating or smoking or drinking. High self people, open to new ideas, open to new possibilities, open to new approaches to life, open to feedback. Low self-esteem people, the opposite, closed to opinions, closed to new ideas, closed to change. High self people operate from a core energy of love. Low self-esteem people, again, it's the opposite. They are driven by fear. This is what's going on the inside. How does it look on the outside? Well, high self-esteem people have a depth of character. They're genuine. Low self-esteem people have a thin veneer of personality. High self-esteem people, genuine. Low self-esteem people, false. High self-esteem people, purpose-centered. Low self-esteem people, ego-centered. High self-esteem people choose their response. Low self-esteem people blame. They're making it always other people or society's fault for their situation. They give away their power. High self-esteem people live their life from a positive motivation. Low self-esteem people are doing the opposite. They're living their life from a negative motivation. The warrior within path is to learn how to raise your awareness so that you believe in yourself, which in turn helps you to follow your heart. One of the big teachings in Warrior Within is about finding your life purpose, finding the thing that makes your heart sing. When you find the thing that makes your heart sing, when you find your life purpose, you also find your passion. And by finding your passion, you find your power. It gives you great energy, gives you the energy to go the extra distance, to go the extra mile, to do the things that you really desire to do, to make those big life changes that maybe you've been putting off. It helps you to find that inner confidence and courage to make a stand for yourself, for what you believe in, to make a stand for a better life. Now, please remember what I said earlier, the ancient teaching, by thought and feeling and action, we make and shape our world. We start the process by thinking about what we want. Then it's important that we add great feeling, and then that we take action, that we hold ourselves in a positive posture, that we can follow through with the actions that help us to find our flow. The best way for each of us to go, to move towards the things that are most important to us. I believe there is a sleeping, mighty warrior within all of us, just waiting to be set free. What kind of warrior might you be? What are the qualities of your inner sleeping warrior? What changes would come to your life by awakening your warrior within? How would you be different, finding your true self? That true, authentic confidence, motivation, inspiration, inner courage. What difference would living those qualities make to you and your life and those people that are in your life that you care about? What difference would awakening your warrior within make to you and your life and those people? Your future path, your purpose. The Warrior Within program runs over 7 weeks. People that join the Warrior Within program often continue with the program for many months, because the community and the information we make available is not ended after the 7-week program. Many people stay connected in the community, they stay connected with their warrior buddy, they continue to access the material and work through deeper levels of the program. The core 7 weeks of the program start with week 1, initiation week. And in week 1, we are covering the fundamental principle of how to raise your awareness so you increase your effectiveness. And in week 1, we're helping people to create a life map. In week 2, we're diving into the second fundamental principle, develop possibility consciousness, how to create an openness of mind and how to create more self-belief, to have greater belief in your true self. And this is where we start the process of creating a self map. And a self map is in 3 stages, and we cover it over 3 weeks. So in week 3, the focus on the content is how to raise your self-esteem and also how to achieve more life balance. And we continue the self-mapping process. And then in week 4, the focus is on finding and following your life purpose and the completion of your self-map in both words and pictures so that it stimulates and activates the whole of your brain. In week 5, the focus is on finding your flow, the best way for you to go, and creating an action map. An action map uses words and pictures to activate the whole of your brain and is focused on how you change habit patterns. So if you have a physical behavior, smoking, drinking, eating, losing your temper, whatever the behavior is that you believe is holding you back from being your best, action mapping in week 5 of Warrior Within is where we help you change that behavior for a behavior that is positive and supports you in being your best. Week 6 is celebration week. This is where we're covering again the deeper levels of how to raise self-esteem by celebrating yourself, celebrating what is best about you. And we create a goal map for your higher purpose, following your purpose and making a difference in the world. And then week 7, recognition week, where we're cheering everybody for their achievements in Warrior Within and then covering the path ahead. As I mentioned just now, many people continue with the Warrior Within for many weeks after the program finishes, because we have a special dedicated team area and goal mapping online only for people in Warrior Within. And you can see it here in real time on the screen and just scrolling through it. Each of these TPs is led by one of our TP elders, one of the most experienced coaches within the goal mapping program. And in each of the TPs, you're able to find a deeper level of content that you can explore each and every week over the 7 weeks of Warrior Within. So we've got 7 weeks, 7 TPs where you can explore that deeper content. And those TPs in this special private area for Warrior Within remain open for 6 months after the program. You'll also get your own buddy each week. So if you want to buddy up with someone, you can opt into the buddy system, see who the buddy system pairs you up with. And that buddy is an accountability buddy that will help you follow through with your exercises, take the actions that you can communicate with. We've got team chat. We've even got intuition cards, rune cards, so that every week we're changing the rune intuition cards, and you have an intuition card for the week to contemplate. We have exercises every week for people to work on during the week before the next week's program. And each week's program is recorded and made available, so that if you miss one of the weeks, the material is still there, and in fact stays there for the whole of the 6 months. So you can keep on going back to the material, you can engage in the exercises, you can stay connected with your buddy, and it's a deep learning journey where you learn both about yourself and also the fundamental principles of success that help you move along your life path. The great ancient teaching, the Hermetic wisdom, as within, so without. As without, so within. Like attracts like. By understanding the simple brain science contained within Warrior Within and how to set goals, you're also helped to understand how to turn your thoughts into realities. The thoughts you think release the chemicals that create your feelings, that also influence your physiology, right down to a cellular level. Every moment of every day, each of us are creating new cells as well as old cells dying out. The cells on your skin replace themselves every 6 weeks. You're shedding skin cells and you're birthing new cells. Every cell in your body, even your teeth and your bones, replace themselves within a 7-year cycle. I know this may seem a really strange thing to some people viewing. You're thinking, no, that These bits of me I've had for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 or more years. But the truth is, there is not a cell in your body that is older than 7 years. The challenge is, as we birth new cells, they're encoded by the old cells, and that's what creates the aging process. And as each new cell is birthed in your body, and you've been birthing many new cells just in the time we've been talking here tonight, as each new cell is birthed, it's encoded with the thought and the feeling at that time. And so we have trillions of cells within our body. And some of the cells in our body are positively programmed and encoded because when the cells were born, we were in positive thought and feeling. And other cells in your body will be the opposite. You will have many cells that have a negative energy. They were birthed during a time when you were feeling down, you were feeling sad or angry or negative in your mind. And each of the cells we create give off an energy, like a battery gives off energy. And they attract or repulse depending on the energy they give. This is why it's so important to understand that you need to maintain. The key word here is maintain. You need to maintain a positive energy over a period of years to create a dominant positive vibration, to attract the people, the situation, and the circumstance into your life that you truly desire. None of us choose consciously to attract challenges into our life. None of us choose to attract negative into our life. It just happens. It happens because we pick up negative thoughts and feelings that give off an energy that attract negative people and situations. And sometimes it's not our deliberate choice, it's just the situation we find ourselves in. By working with a goal map or a life map or an action map or a self map, remember we go through all 4 maps in Warrior Within. By working with these 4 maps over a period of time, it helps you to encode the energetic energy of your body to set up a more positive attraction, attracting more positive people, situation, and circumstance into your life. Having an accountability buddy, working with your intuition, helps you to enhance the power to a much greater level. Normal price of Warrior Within is $495 plus VAT, but we are offering the early bird price until tomorrow. It ends tomorrow and goes up to $349 tomorrow. But for tonight, until tomorrow, it is $249. And not only is that a ticket to the 7 weeks of Warrior Within and the 6 months entry and membership into the Warrior Within Lounge, but also we are giving everyone a 1 year, 12 months gold membership to Gold Mapping Online. So for a year, you have premium membership of Gold Mapping Online. And also we are giving 1 free coaching session with one of our premium coaches. So $249 is the price for Warrior Within, the early bird price, and the special bonus, if you're booking the program, is that you will also have 12 months premium subscription to Gold Mapping Online. as well as a one-to-one coaching with one of our premium coaches. And you can take that one-to-one coaching session at a time of your choice. And again, I would ask those people that have attended Warrior Within before, please do write in the chat and let the new people know what it is that you achieved by joining the program. For me, the greatest compliment and feedback about Warrior Within is the fantastic number of people that choose to repeat the program. We have around about 70% of people that attend the program also repeat the program. They want to stay on another time and bring a guest. And in fact, for this reason, we have a special repeat price that if people want to repeat the program, they can come back for free if they're bringing a paying guest with them. So I do hope you would join the program, experience it for yourself, find the power. It's a full money back guarantee if you're not completely happy. And we've never had anyone ever ask for their money back. And there are hundreds of people that have attended the program. But for anyone that's not completely happy, it's a full money back guarantee. We've had someone book already just in the last hour. And if you'd like to join the program, we are sending out advanced materials now and drawing people in. We're going to have a special welcome event. Make sure everybody's set up with the online program, ready for their 7-week learning journey and a big breakthrough in life and success. If anyone has any questions that they would like to ask, then I would love to hear them. I'm just going to thank you, Vicky, for removing the spotlight. We're on interactive meeting mode now. And so anyone that would like to ask any questions, please unmute your microphone. Just ask whatever questions you'd like to ask. Or for anyone that has been on Warrior Within before and wants to share a breakthrough that you've had, a goal that you've achieved, something that the program's helped you with, then please do share it. Remember, when you're sharing, you're helping the other people that may be newer to the program and don't understand all the benefits. So any questions anyone has, raise a hand or unmute the microphone. Love to hear from you. Or anyone that would love to share something about Warrior Within or a breakthrough you've had, again. So Linda, if you would like to share, see your hand raised. Also you, Marjorie, I'll come to you second. Marjorie, you may have been first, but I saw Linda's hand first. Linda, please feel free, unmute your microphone.
Hi, Brian. Hopefully I'm unmuted. Yeah, this is probably my third time doing Warrior Within. So although I've always done personal development for a long time, I think it's the unexpected that comes into your life because you think everything's fine and then something hits you. It could be family issues, it could be relationships, it could be a death of someone or illness or anything like that. And I think what's in your toolkit, that's what I always think. What can I reach into? You know, we can chat to friends and stuff like that, but it does begin with yourself, really. You get lots of advice, but it's when you wake up in the morning and how strong is your mindset. And I don't mean ignore those feelings that are going on, because you do have to let them go sometimes. But you know, you face challenges that you just don't expect. It just sideswipes you. And I think with this, I know there's a lot of personal development out there, and I've been doing goal mapping for probably almost 12 years. And, you know, using it with my son, he's 20 now, he's done it since he was 7. And I can even see with him, you know, and it's no, not everything's great all the time. And, as much as you want to remain positive, sometimes that's a challenge, and I think it's keeping connected really. And I think, over the 7 weeks, what you do, it's quite difficult to explain. I think it's just, you just have to go with it and just find yourself really, more than anything. Definitely. And it just helps. And I think for me being, it's not just a UK program, it's worldwide. And just seeing that lots of people have the same problems. And when you come on to Warrior Within and you hear different people talking, you think, oh my word, we're all the same really, just in different countries. And, and it's not just women on here, we get men as well from all sorts of different backgrounds as well. You don't have to have any experience and just come on. And I think more importantly, it's time for you. We're always rushing about and stuff like that. And people always say they don't get time. So I think it's just giving yourself a couple of hours a week to just, 2-3 hours just for you, just to sit down and just take it in really.
I so agree, Linda, and I'll be really honest with everyone. I have some down days. I was so sad earlier today. And not because of anything I'd done or even things that have necessarily gone wrong, just some things that are outside of my control with relationships and family and things. And it was just a difficult situation to deal with. Nobody's fault, just one of those things, like you say, comes along every so often in life. And it's diving into my tool bag, the things that I teach in Warrior Within, that help me to pick myself up. Because regardless of what goes on or how we feel, we have to live our life. This presentation was arranged for this evening, even though I'd had this tough day and was feeling close to tears just an hour before the presentation because of some things that have happened. But regardless, we need to find that inner warrior. And right now, it's such an important time to help people find their inner warrior. There are so many people struggling with life right now. And so for me, it feels like such a mission to deliver the program and to teach what I've learned these last 30 years that has helped me to turn my life around and continue to help me to move through the challenges that life invariably brings. That for me, it's just an absolute mission that I teach those things to other people. And I'm so pleased that you're returning again, Linda, because Warrior Within, it's not just about what I'm sharing as being the lead presenter. It's about what everybody else brings. And there's such a lot of collective wisdom, as you've said. There's men, women, young and old.
Yeah.
We've got some young people that join, and we've got some very senior people that join. And it's that collective, holistic wisdom and people sharing that I think makes such a difference and creates those breakthroughs for people. And when I read some of the messages of people telling me how they broke through low self-esteem or a lack of belief in themselves or no confidence, and the difference it makes in their life when they find their personal power, is for me the greatest motivation to want to push forward, see how many people that we can help with the program. And let me go to Marjorie. Marjorie Grant, how are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. I just wanted to share. So I've been a goal mapping practitioner since 2006. I was aware of goal mapping from 2005. And I came broken. I came broken because I burnt and crashed at the height of my career. And I came from an environment where we spent our entire life setting goals. And when I met Brian, I couldn't set a goal. I did my practitioner training, and I just could not set a personal goal. But one thing that came out of it was I wanted to find my voice. Well, I think you gathered, if anybody's on here that knows me, I have definitely found my voice. And so I just want to share with you what Warrior Within has given me. So goal mapping gave me my voice, and goal mapping gave me a vision of who I can be when I didn't remember who I was. I was broken, I was destroyed. Everything that I thought was what made me who I was no longer true. And so for me, doing the Warrior Within has helped me to realize that I've spent a lot of my life worrying. I come from an environment where we worry about everything. I mean, literally from the moment you wake up. And sometimes you can shrug it off. And I think when you're younger, you've got a lot of resilience around it. But as life keeps throwing the stuff on top, you feel buried. What Warrior Within has done, it's helped me to find that light and grow. And grow knowing that it's okay to be the person I was born to be, not the person that people think I should be, or what I then created as a version of what I should be. But I was able to take the 7 weeks, and I've done this quite a few times because I'm an elder within one of the TPs. But what it has done, it's really helped me to hear my own voice. It's helped me to tune into the person I was born to be without all the stuff that's gone to me over the years, other people's voices, other people's opinions. And you will actually have that experience by actually being able, through the 7 weeks, to analyze what people have said and how that's affected who you are today. Some of it's good, some of it's negative. But what's really powerful is when you learn how to strip out what doesn't serve you anymore and become that person that you were born to be without all the stories that have held you back. I love Warrior Within. I love the fact that we do it over the 7 weeks at the equinox and at the winter, the autumn one. And I didn't realize how powerful that was as well, in the sense that we're working in unison with the universe, with a group of people that are enlightened to want to embrace change in their lives. Every single time I do Warrior Within, I tap in to something new within me, something I didn't know about, something I didn't know that even existed. I've connected and made some of the most amazing friends doing this program. You don't do this for now, you do this for life. You may not be able to do the full 7 weeks, that's fine. You have an opportunity to come back. Your universe will throw the biggest amount of stuff at you. But remember, the most beautiful rose had the most manure put on it. So each one of us are here today because, as Brian has taught us, we are all green and growing. We're not ripe. We're not ready for picking. Okay? We are still green. We are open to learning. And the Warrior Within is about learning about ourselves and empowering each other while we have that journey. So I'm really looking forward to what happens when we start on the 30th of August. So that's me. I'm shutting up now.
Thank you, Marjorie. And it's lovely to see you tonight. I didn't know you were joining. And your name was mentioned earlier today because me and Vicky had a Zoom meeting with Jackie Cox from Light to Light. And we mentioned you, and Jackie said that you'd been in contact. So we'll see what happens in that space. Great to see you, Marjorie. And anybody else want to ask any questions about the Warrior Within program? Anyone want to know any more detail other than what I've shared or Marjorie shared, or in fact Linda has shared? Remember, it's 7 weeks. That's not the end of the access to the material, buddy system, or how we run the program, because we like to stay connected with people through helping them to make their maps as powerful as possible, and of course to improve their life as much as possible. See, if you have any questions about the program, if you want to know how it can work specifically for you or what type of things you can use the program for to achieve in your life, then simply raise a hand, ask your questions now. Very happy to answer them. Or if there's anyone else that wants to share anything that has already been on the program and they feel they have something they want to share about what they achieved because it may inspire others, then we'd love to hear from you. If you want to email me or Vicky to ask your questions in private, then Vicky, I know, will post her email address in the chat. I can already see in the chat that Vicky's posted the link to the information page for anybody that wants to read more. We start the program on the 30th of this month. So 2 weeks from now, 7 p.m, runs for around 2 hours each week. When I say around, sometimes I get enthusiastic and it's 2.5 hours. It has occasionally been a little bit more than that, but people can leave whenever they wish to. The recordings are always uploaded into our special area, the Warrior Within TP Reservation or Lounge, and you can access the material at your leisure. If you can join, it's great because we've got live exercises, buddy-in, breakout rooms, and a fantastic group of TP elders, like Marjorie speaking this evening, and you can go there, access the deeper information, get help from all the TP elders. I can see a few of them here this evening online. Great to see you all. Suzanne, for instance. Take it you're joining from Greece, Suzanne. Super. All right, everyone, if there are no more questions, everyone's okay. If you want to join the program, remember, we've still got the special early bird price, but it's only until tomorrow, and then it goes up. And as part of that special price, we're also giving everybody 12 months membership to the premium level of Goal Mapping Online, plus a one-to-one coaching session with a TP elder of your choice, one of our most senior coaches. I thank you all for joining. I know your time is valuable, as is mine. I hope tonight's been useful to you. Great to see you all. I wish you lots of love. Take care, everyone. Peace and happiness. Bye-bye for now.